exactly did I move from the US to Europe? How did I actually make that move? What steps did I take? How did I get a job and a visa? I get these questions a lot, so today I'm going to do my best to answer them. Hey everyone, I'm Donna and you're watching Wanted Adventure Living Abroad. Just a heads up, this is definitely not the only way to move from the US to Europe, but this was my way. This is how I did it. But there are many different paths that you can take. Europe is a big place and things work differently from country to country, and everyone is different as well. So definitely do not take this as the one and only way to do it, the only way to follow. Everyone has to find their own way and what works for them. First question, did I have a job lined up in Europe before moving there? No, I had no job. I sold everything at a yard sale and bought a one-way ticket to Prague and moved there, knowing that within the first 90 days, I needed to find a place to live, get a job, get that longer stay visa, and make it work. Or move to someplace else. I knew I did not want to return to the US, at least not right away. So I just figured, I don't know, if it doesn't work out in Prague, I'll go to Asia. I don't know. I didn't really have a plan. I was just following wherever life took me. So that's my first tip for you. Don't have too many expectations of what should happen. Expectations will make these things more stressful, and not having expectations should hopefully make it a lot less stressful. In the end, I did get a job and a visa in Prague, but if I hadn't, it would have been okay because I would have just gone somewhere else. And having that mindset, for me, it really took the pressure off and made everything about the move a lot less daunting and scary. And who knows, maybe if things hadn't worked out in Prague, now I'd be making videos in Japan. No idea. A year later, when I moved from Prague to Munich, I noticed that it was really a lot more stressful because I had my heart set on making it work in Munich specifically because I wanted to live there with Mr. German Man. So it was a lot more stressful trying to get that visa because I was no longer open to just going wherever life took me. I wanted to direct the train and direct my path. So if you can be more flexible, in my experience, that really, really helps. And sometimes the world just has some amazing experience to offer you that you never would have even thought of. So if you can just go wherever life takes you, sometimes that's when the most magical things happen. Before leaving the US to move to Prague, I did sign up for a month-long TEFL course in the city so that I would have a place to go each morning for the first 4 weeks and meet people. I knew that making connections was important, and I figured, maybe teaching English would be a way for me to get that longer stay visa. So the TEFL course was as much for stability as meeting people. As just I thought having a TEFL certificate could come in handy at some point during my abroad adventure, wherever it took me. Another question I get is, so then how do you find a job when you don't know anyone abroad and you don't speak the language? Okay, well, first of all, learn a little bit of the language before moving abroad, because even if you're not fluent, if you show up at a job interview and you can ask how the people are doing and say hello in their language, make a little bit of small talk, it really goes a long way. And secondly, you don't know anyone? Meet people as quickly as you can. That's why I signed up for the TEFL course, even though I didn't know if I would end up teaching English. When I arrived in Prague, I went to meetups. I quickly found the English language forum online. Here in Germany, it's Toy Town. In Prague, it was expat.cz. And there you can find meetups and groups, and they have a job section that I checked once or twice or more times a day. From the moment I landed in Prague, I was looking for a job. I told everyone I met, "Hi, I'm Donna, I'm looking for a job. Hi, I'm Donna, I'm looking for a job." But I couldn't get just any job. I needed a job that would sponsor a longer stay visa. Now, I am no visa expert, but the way I understand it is it needs to be a job for which there's a reason they are giving it to you and not to someone from that country. So that's why English teacher is such a big one. I didn't want to limit myself to teaching English, but I realized that my skill as a native English speaker would probably be my biggest selling point. So I applied everywhere I could find online for which I could think that English and my native speaker abilities could possibly be important. And like I said, every single person I met, I told I was looking for a job related somehow to English. In the end, I got a job at a computer help desk call center, first level support. It had been outsourced from the UK because it was cheaper to have it in Prague, and I was hired for my native English skills, and they sponsored that longer stay visa. Another question I get is, did you have a place to live before moving abroad? Well, sorta. I booked a month-long stay in a hotel in one of those high-rise buildings out in the outskirts of the city that cost 8,000 crowns for the month, which at the time, 7 years ago, was about $400. And for that, I got a tiny little bed and a toilet and a shower. So I gave myself a month in there to actually find a real apartment. The next question that I get asked quite a lot is, how much money should I have saved up before moving abroad? And the answer to that really depends on you and where you're moving to. Prague, for example, is a lot cheaper than here in Munich. And how much to have saved up depends on what you're comfortable with. In some countries, there are other options for getting longer stay visas besides getting a job to sponsor you. For example, studying the language or studying in university. But I believe with some of those visas, you can't necessarily work as well, or you can't work as much. You can only study. So then you're just spending, and not earning that much. So then obviously you would need to have more saved up before going. But if you're planning on trying to get a job to sponsor your visa, well, then you'd have to land a job within the first few weeks or hopefully month of getting to the country. So theoretically, you really wouldn't be going that long without earning money. Unless, of course, that doesn't work out, in which case having more money saved up would allow you to be more flexible. And then I also get asked, do you speak German, or did you speak German before moving there? And like I said before, it is good to learn at least a little bit of the language before showing up in the country. I did that with Czech and with German as well. I wasn't fluent, I definitely wasn't fluent, but I knew enough to have some small talk, and I found that really goes a long way with people. Just showing that you've made an effort really helps. So my question for you is, what other questions do you have about moving abroad? And if you've done it, tell me about your moving abroad experience. Where did you go? How did you do it? And what advice would you give to people who want to move to that country? Please let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe for more videos and hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. And also for more photos and other short video clips, you can check me out over here on my Twitter and my Facebook page. Until next time, auf Wiedersehen. And like I said before, it is it is Gerd. How are you doing today? I'm Gerd.